This episode of Weekly Weird News is sponsored by HelloFresh and by Stamps.com.
At this point, it's safe to say that this global pandemic that's been going on now for 2 years and counting has made everyone a little bit crazy. Some more than others, but definitely it's across the entire population spectrum, from people who've taken the pandemic very seriously to those who don't even believe that the pandemic is real.
I'm just crazy for crazy's sake.
Yeah, everyone just wants things to go back to normal again, now, and they want it so damn badly that they're willing to do some things that they otherwise wouldn't do. On the one extreme, you've got people who've basically become agoraphobic hypochondriacs that get irrationally upset at seeing someone just maybe pull their mask down to take a sip of water for a second. But on the other extreme, which I would say is the worst extreme, you've got people willing to literally break the law if it means not having to take a vaccine that's been proven to be safe and effective. And that second group of people is a tremendous market of opportunity for the unscrupulous entrepreneurs out there willing to go above and beyond.
They created a black market.
That's right.
And business was booming. Not so much now, I don't think, with everything being lifted. But, you know, if you're a real hustler for a couple months there, it was the best time of your life.
There was money to be made.
Yeah. Now, as you recall, as soon as vaccines became available, there was immediately a black market for counterfeit vaccine cards, which ranged from believable-looking fakes to anti-vax pharmacists putting their professional careers on the line in order to commit medical forgery. It was wild out there. But one very enterprising man over in Germany, he's outdone all of his peers in the Vax Pass counterfeiting business by simply assuming the identities of his anti-vax clients and going and getting actually injected in their place.
Shoot me up, Doc.
Diseases hate him. His customers may be terrified to get the vaccine or have a bunch of bad reasons, but he sure as hell isn't.
No qualms.
Yeah, and in fact, he's so unbothered by the idea of getting vaxxed that he's allegedly gone and gotten an injection in his arm around 90 separate times.
It's a lot.
This man didn't just collect them all. He collected combos.
Sorry, Doc, you might have some trouble finding some flesh that isn't completely scarred over, but trust me, I'm good to go.
Well, actually, I got the two Pfizer at the beginning, and then I got the Moderna booster, and the doctor's like, all right, good. We like when you mix it. And then I got Johnson & Johnson, 2 more Pfizer, a 6-pack of Moderna.
Yeah.
I got the one that doesn't seem to be working very well from China. Then I took the Covaxilid or whatever, the pill. Look, what I'm saying is it's probably just the flu at this point.
Yeah. Trust me, it's probably not COVID.
I got a runny nose, but it could be anything.
Anyway, here's the LA Times. A 60-year-old man allegedly had himself vaccinated against COVID-19 dozens of times in Germany in order to sell forged vaccination cards with real vaccine batch numbers to people not wanting to get inoculated themselves. The man from the city of Magdeburg, whose name was not released in line with German privacy rules, is said to have received up to 90 shots against COVID-19 at vaccination centers in the eastern state of Saxony for months until police caught him this month, the German news agency DPA reported Sunday. The man was not detained, but is under investigation for unauthorized issuance of vaccination cards and document forgery, DPA reported. He was detained at a vaccination center in Eilenburg in Saxony when he showed up for a COVID-19 shot for the second day in a row. Police confiscated several blank vaccination cards from him and initiated criminal proceedings. It was not immediately clear what impact the approximately 90 doses of COVID-19 vaccines, which were from different brands, had on the man's health.
This is like when, you see it in action movies, but it's like when it's The Rock, where they go bust Sean Connery out of prison, and they're like, well, look, okay, here's the thing. You have expert knowledge of some very unique scenarios, so we're going to wipe your record clean as long as you help us. And scientists are going to be like, don't arrest this guy. We need him in the lab right now.
Yeah, send him over to us. We'll make sure he doesn't do anything bad.
The only thing that would make this more ridiculous and possibly even funnier is if somewhere amidst the 90 vaccines that he took, he also ate horse dewormer, and then everyone was like, well, clearly. I mean, he took a lot, but that was in there, so it might be doing something.
Yeah, he could have done that. Also, this guy at 60 years old, I think he might be old enough to have pulled this off for like the polio vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, how many polio scars does he have in his arm?
Yeah, that would be more obvious.
Yeah.
He looks like a fucking crocodile.
Well, I'm surprised that the cops were able to detain him at all, considering his superpowers that he clearly has now.
Yeah,
but actually,
glowing.
It is a very good question, though. What does 90 COVID vaccine shots do to a person? Because I know after my third, I was like, it really wrecks you for a day.
The third one fucked me up.
Yeah. But how would this affect a 60-year-old man doing 90 back to back to back? Obviously, what this guy did was illegal and wrong. Those vaccine shots could have and should have gone to the correct people. But instead of sending him to jail, he should clearly be sent off to be studied.
He belongs in a museum.
Yes. Ripley's museum, but a museum nonetheless. This is the kind of medical experiment that doctors could never actually attempt due to the severe ethical problems with it. But if someone has voluntarily gone and done it themselves, well, I mean, who are we to say?
Yeah.
It would be a wasted opportunity not to test everything about how this man was affected by 90 COVID vaccinations in 1 year.
Yeah. They need to study this man. I want to watch the Chubby Emu video. A man presenting to the local county jail with 90 COVID vaccines. This is what happened to his body.
Well, it would be like someone who's it's my 21st birthday, I'm gonna go get a shot, and then like sitting next to Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah.
It's like Lemmy could do 15, 20 shots in a night and be just completely fine.
Well, until he couldn't.
Well, he died as a result of his alcoholism
But he lived a lot longer than anyone said he could. They're like,
exactly.
Sir, you have just the worst diabetes imaginable. You should not be consuming any alcohol, especially not your drink of choice, Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
You will die.
I do believe that he switched to something that didn't. No, he switched to like
orange juice.
Yeah, and it's like that has just as much sugar.
Yeah, it's juice. Just because it's juice doesn't mean it's not full of fucking
Nah.
sugar. Anyway,
What I'm saying is he built up a tolerance.
Well, that's certainly true. Also, as with so many things that happen, this is literally a 4chan meme come to life. An IRL example of what 4chaners called vax-maxing, which was coined last April in the following post, which I will now read. I was able to intercept an entire pallet of Pfizer's first vaccine shipment. 4,000 doses at 2 shots per dose. I've got it stored in a chest freezer in my garage. I've been injecting myself every day, sometimes multiple times a day if I can stand it. The symptoms were terrible for the first few weeks. There were times I was completely paralyzed with pain, contorted like the Edvard Munch painting, and frozen in agony for hours. I became stronger, and some of the worst symptoms subsided over time. I've been vax-maxing for almost 4 months now, and I feel as though I'm becoming something greater than human now. I will continue to administer the injections into the same arm as long as possible. I'm increasing the dosages as much as I can stand, and will maintain my journal.
Anyways, in addition to that post almost certainly being fiction, because this is YouTube, we should make it absolutely clear that you should not be getting any more than the recommended amount and frequency of COVID-19 vaccine doses. Do you hear that, Susan? We're just reporting on things that happen. We're not endorsing them, in most cases, just reporting on them. Our official stance on getting dozens of COVID vaccine injections is that we are against it.
Can't support it.
Yeah, let's move on now to another example of how this pandemic has driven humankind to the brink of its sanity. We've seen more examples of insane in-flight antics by airline passengers in the last year or so than probably the entire decade before. But this latest example probably takes the cake in terms of things you absolutely should not do on an airplane. But someone did it anyway, and it's another thing that should be studied. This is impressive. Disgusting, immoral, illegal, but impressive.
Yeah, it's not good. No. We're not endorsing
absolutely
anything we're talking about today. Here's the Daily Beast. A man on a Southwest Airlines flight from Seattle to Phoenix is facing federal charges for pulling down his pants and masturbating at least 4 times in front of a female passenger, beginning shortly after takeoff, according to a criminal complaint first obtained by the Daily Beast. Antonio Sherrod McGarity was arrested by officers from the Phoenix Police Department when Southwest Flight 3814 landed at Sky Harbor International Airport on Saturday, the complaint states. However, McGarity told cops that he didn't do anything wrong, and in fact, thought it was kind of kinky, it says.
All right, I want to correct myself. At first, I thought he was masturbating in the bathroom, not in front of people.
No, he was committing a crime.
Yeah.
A very obvious crime. You don't jack it in front of other people.
Horrific that he wasn't able to be stopped or subdued.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like
after the first time.
Yeah, this seems like something that should have immediately raised alarm bells throughout the plane, but
for so long I believed the rumor that air marshals traveled frequently, but I've only seen, I can think of one case since the beginning of this pandemic where one has actually been on a plane and was able to stop something that was happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless the air marshal is also kinky.
Could be. That would be the ultimate twist. Who marshals the air marshals? But yeah, actually, instead of just reading the article, we should probably just read directly from the FBI's criminal complaint, because this is insane. It's also very not safe for work, and we'll probably get this video demonetized. Sorry, Susan. But whatever. Fuck it. Here you go.
After Southwest Airlines Flight 3814 landed in Phoenix, Arizona, the female witness sitting next to McGarity was interviewed by Phoenix police officers. She advised McGarity exposed his penis by pulling down his pants and shorts and proceeded to masturbate during the first hour of the flight, starting shortly after takeoff. McGarity masturbated with his exposed penis in the view of the female passenger on 4 separate occasions, using both his left and right hands. Ambidextrous.
Wow.
She suspected that McGarity ejaculated because he licked a white substance from his fingers. Up to you, because you're editing it, but if you want to bleep anything I just said and still have it on the screen, I am completely fine with it.
I don't know how you tell the story without telling the truth.
We got wrongly in trouble for even talking about Madison Cawthorn accusing someone of doing drugs, and I was like, what? But... So this is definitely going to get dinged.
Yeah, I've given up trying to appease the gods, the YouTube ad god.
Tread lightly.
What can you fucking do? Thank you to our sponsors and our members. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it sounds like this guy ate his own cum. And
I'm sitting here trying to apologize.
And yeah, he jerked off for hours at a time in full view of other passengers. 4 separate occasions, multiple hands. How did this... I just don't understand how this was allowed to continue on for this long.
Yes. Impressive in a bad way. Also, like, coming 4 times in that short amount of time is exhausting, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Painful.
Yeah, you would think that it would not be
How does he have
enjoyable.
anything left?
Yeah, just a stub.
Built different.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. But anyway, yeah, the plane lands. He immediately gets arrested. The cops confront him, and he readily admits what he did. But also, he seems to have thought that it was all perfectly fine, because he asked the woman if she minded first, so...
Ma'am, do you mind if I beat on my shillelagh?
Yeah. And it's so funny. Anytime I bring up Louis C.K., people are like, well, he asked for permission. What are you so mad about? I'm like, okay, if you think that's how the world works, sure. But anyway, here's the complaint again. McGarity advised he asked the female witness if she minded if he masturbates. According to McGarity, the female witness put her hands in the air and said, "It really doesn't matter." McGarity said he thought it was kind of kinky. McGarity did not think the female witness was uncomfortable with him masturbating. So, wow. This poor woman.
This is fucking disgusting. I mean...
He's like, is it okay? Do you think it's okay if I masturbate? It doesn't really matter what I think. You're
clearly unwell.
Oh, so you don't care? All right, great. Here we go. Should I go left or right this time?
I'm actually trying to not upset you even more. Turning you violent instead of just horny.
Yeah.
Is probably the case.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what's she supposed to do? Fight this man in the air?
Yeah.
So, yeah, needless to say, this guy's probably not going to be flying again anytime soon or ever, and good.
You would assume not ever.
Yeah, and as for the criminal charges that he's facing, for starters, masturbating in public in front of other people is pretty bad already, but doing it on a commercial flight makes the consequences a whole lot worse. That raises it to a federal crime. So I hope this jerk-off enjoyed himself, because probably not going to have another opportunity again.
You know who it probably was? That Coney guy. The guy that jacked off in San Diego? Because guess what? 10-year anniversary.
It's been 10 years since Coney 2012.
Yeah.
And how do you top jerking it in San Diego?
Jerking it on a Southwest flight.
Jerking it at 35,000 feet. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was that guy, but that's a theory.
Yeah, 10 years. Can you believe?
Wow.
Yeah.
We did it.
We've come so far as a society, right?
That was such a weird thing that happened.
That was the moment the world broke.
Yeah.
But let's move on to behavior that's not exactly illegal, but is definitely very off-putting to most people's sensibilities. In the past, we've covered examples of funerals that take the unorthodox step of posing the deceased's body in lifelike ways instead of just placing it in a coffin. Now, it's particularly popular in Puerto Rico, and there's been a few other examples out of New Orleans. And while it's pretty morbid to see a dead body posed like a statue, if that's what the dead person and their family wanted, that's fine, I guess. Still, though, to most people, this kind of thing is extremely bizarre and off-putting. And this latest example of it goes beyond anything that we've seen before.
Yeah, so a few weeks back, DC area rapper Gunu was murdered at just 24 years old in what is believed to be an armed robbery. And it's tragic when a young artist is killed, but Gunu's family and friends still wanted to celebrate his life in a positive way that honored his legacy. So instead of a typical funeral, they held just a big hip-hop show at a nightclub. Still not that strange, but where it gets very weird is that Gunu's body was just sort of propped up on the side of the stage the whole night, while what otherwise looked like a normal rap music event took place. You're in the club, people are dancing, drinking, music's playing, dead body on stage, posed to look like it's still alive. One of these things is not like the other. And yeah, that's a dead body right there that you're seeing on screen.
Why are you doing this?
Here's TMZ.
Rapper Gunu was quite literally front and center at his own funeral, with his body propped up on display in a club. The 24-year-old's funeral, named The Final Show, was held at Bliss nightclub in Washington, D.C. Sunday. And footage from inside the building appears to show the rapper's embalmed corpse overlooking the crowd, fully dressed up and wearing a crown. The audience reaction is pretty mixed. Some are dancing along to the music, while others are stone-faced, staring at the dead body in front of them. Bliss nightclub said they weren't made aware of the tribute ahead of time, according to 2Fab, and apologized to anyone offended. The club is still investigating if the body was real or not, or if any legal ramifications are possible.
I mean, yeah, if I get gunned down on the street, just pose me up with the fan art. Just have me back here.
Yeah.
Sunglasses on so you can't see my dead eyes.
And then hook you up to a series of small ropes so I can take you in and cash paychecks for you.
Yeah.
Hello.
My
me.
Social Security. So yeah, if the nightclub wasn't aware that there would be a dead body on display, that is pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, Gunu's family stands by how they did his funeral, so I don't know. Who are we to judge? Pretty weird, though.
Yeah.
But moving on now to some lighter news, some April Fool's news. It would have been the greatest April Fool's prank in history if Gunu had actually faked his death and revealed this after standing perfectly still on stage at his own funeral for several hours. That would have been epic. But alas, Gunu is actually dead. And meanwhile, most of the prominent April Fool's Day pranks from the past few years have all just been garbage, or at least just not very clever. People are just phoning that shit in now. But one exception from this year happened over in Dallas, Texas, when the entire city looked up at the sky and saw the biggest QR code in the world shining down on them. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
I bet that's for crypto.com. Well, it wasn't. But light shows using swarms of drones have been becoming more and more common in recent years, especially at big public events. And the results are actually really cool. By sending hundreds of tiny light-emitting drones into the sky and coordinating their movements, companies are able to create giant 3D animations that are almost difficult for the human brain to process. Nothing will ever top the explosive energy of a fireworks show, but drone shows come pretty damn close. And the company Sky Elements Drone Shows decided that April Fool's Day would be the perfect opportunity to show off their product and also troll an entire city. They sent a swarm of 300 drones up into the night sky, forming a QR code hundreds of feet wide. And when unsuspecting bystanders below pulled out their phones to see what this drone swarm was advertising, it pointed to a URL that a lot of people can, at this point, recognize from memory, despite it just being a youtube.com/watch link with a bunch of random letters and numbers. Why is that link purple instead of blue?
Yeah, so yes, you guessed it. Sky Elements Drone Shows use 300 drones to rickroll an entire city, proving yet again that somehow the meme of tricking people into watching the music video for Rick Astley's 1987 hit song Never Gonna Give You Up will never be given up on. We're well into a decade plus.
Yeah.
And people are still rickrolling. Mm-hmm. It's still happening.
Yeah. There's some jerk on the inside should have made it the link go to Two Girls, One Cup.
That would have been way more clever, honestly.
Yeah.
But this is a family-friendly business. We're having a little fun here. We're advertising our drone show company, not trying to get charged with a groundbreaking crime that has to be written up by the courts.
Yeah, straight to the Supreme Court.
Your Honor, how is it a crime? It was simply a
light show,
an assemblage of lights in the sky. How is this indecent?
We did nothing wrong. Well, let's see if they get hit with a DMCA. That'll be a clear case there.
Yeah.
So we do have headlines coming up for you really quick, but first, let's take a second to thank this week's sponsors. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Get farm-fresh seasonal produce and easy-to-make recipes delivered right to your door every week. Ingredients travel from the farm to your doorstep in under a week, so they always arrive fresh, all without a trip to the grocery store or farmer's market. Pick your favorites from 50 different weekly options and skip weeks when you need to, change your delivery date, or update your preferences all in the HelloFresh app.
We especially like HelloFresh because it's a great way to dabble, to dip your toes into vegetarian cooking and learn about all the ways to make veggies more delicious than you ever thought they could be.
I'm constantly surprised.
Here's a hint. Spices. White people, listen up.
Yeah.
We've been missing out on this amazing thing for too long.
Yeah.
And on next week's menu, they've got tasty vegetarian options like roasted pepper cavatappi Milano with fresh mozzarella, crispy panko, and chives, and the sheet pan balsamic tomato flatbreads with red pepper spread and arugula.
I love those. They're a great go-to.
Go to HelloFresh.com/weeklyweird16 and use code weeklyweird16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, that is up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts by going to HelloFresh.com/weeklyweird16 and using code weeklyweird16.
This episode is also sponsored by Stamps.com. Time is money, friend.
That's right.
Don't waste either with repeated trips down to the post office. With Stamps.com, you can skip the trip and focus on how to take your small business to the next level. Stamps.com lets you print official postage right from your computer and saves you money in the process, so you can spend less time at the post office and more time making your customers happy. Stamps.com saves you time, money, and stress. For more than 20 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses. Stamps.com gives you access to all the post office and UPS shipping services that you need right from your computer. And you get discounts that you can't find anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS rates and up to 76% off UPS.
Whether you're an office sending invoices, a side hustle Etsy shop, or a full-blown warehouse shipping out orders, Stamps.com will make your life easier. All you need is a computer and a standard printer. No special supplies or equipment. You're up and running in minutes, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send. Stop overpaying for shipping with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code WEIRD for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code WEIRD.
All right, now let's get into the weirdest, wildest headlines from around the world this
Let's get a little political.
Oh, no.
with
Okay, here we go.
headlines.
Start things off. Why don't you start it off, Elliot?
Trump tells gays for Trump supporter they don't look gay at fundraiser. Oh, where's my gays for Trump? Huh? You're the gays for
Hey, why don't you gang it up a bit?
You don't look gay.
Yeah.
Where's your rainbow flag and your dress? Why aren't you dressed like a woman?
I thought you'd look more extravagant, to be honest.
Gay Republicans, it's just such a cucked existence. They, especially right now. Right now, the gay panic from like the fucking 90s is back, and existing as a gay person around other human beings is grooming now, I guess.
Yeah, they're really pushing that fucking narrative in
Yeah,
Florida, specifically because of that bill.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
It's appearing in like political ads now for the midterms.
Yeah, no, a lot of gay teachers who've been at it for years, they're quitting because they're just like, I don't want to accidentally say my husband and lose my fucking job instantly because of this law. So I'm just leaving Florida or just changing careers.
The repercussions of how we've treated teachers, specifically over the past 2 or 3 years, it's going to be not fascinating, horrifying to look back on, because you got to imagine who are going to be replacing these teachers that are completely fine with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that what they're making is, I guess, okay to them. It seems like a bad idea that is not going to be great for the future generations.
But yeah, this the Gays for Trump guy at Mar-a-Lago, he got interviewed after, and like, were you offended by that? He's like, no, because like Trump, he was just referring to like the leftist gays that make us all look bad with their purple hair and their pride parades and their bondage. We're the good gays, buddy.
I assure you, I am wearing a Donald Trump thong right now.
I'm sure when it comes down to it, they're going to be like, oh wait, he's one of the good gays. Let him be. I'm sure that's how it always works out. Great shit.
GOP bill eliminates age requirements for marriages in Tennessee. So wait, are they projecting with all the grooming stuff?
No. No, that would be...
That would make them look...
too ironic.
Yeah. That would make them look hypocritical.
Yeah, I don't know what this law is like supposed to do, but yeah, it would change the rules around marriage in Tennessee and basically make it so like any age, so as long as like your parents say it's okay.
And you give them a goat.
But looking into this, it's like I always forget there already are hundreds of thousands of child marriages in this country every year.
Mostly in deeply religious
yeah,
sects.
but weirdly, actually the craziest age of consent or age of whatever law is in like Massachusetts. I don't know if they have a child marriage problem over there, but you can technically get married at like age 12 in Massachusetts. Fucking ugh. So yeah, I don't know if I was positioning my politics solely around being against child grooming, I'd probably not want to be associated with passing laws to allow child marriage. That's just me.
It is obvious that the political party of like no restrictions, no regulations.
They do love some regulations.
They love regulations, but the ones that they don't love are so particular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Meh.
Huh.
Anyways, speaking of
Groomers.
this video is never going to make it online.
Well,
If you're watching this, you got in early. Or they let it go by.
Gates justifies no vote on insulin cap bill by saying diabetics should lose weight. Maybe you wouldn't need all that insulin if you weren't such a fat fuck.
This
How
is
about
like
that?
a pretty like bipartisan thing too.
Yeah, and in fact, I would guess that diabetes probably affects Republicans more than Democrats. If I had to guess. I could be wrong, but generally
and in particular Republican voting areas.
Yeah, density or prevalence of type 2 diabetes is in sort of the same parts of the country that swings the furthest to the right.
It's like when you do the sliding map of COVID deaths and voting records. Yeah, I would imagine that the diabetes one is clearly the same. But yeah, he's been a standout on a couple of bipartisan issues. What was the other one, and how did it relate to the other thing we were just talking about? Human trafficking? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep up with this
people
guy.
Don't want to be human trafficked. They should gain weight to not be so hot. Yeah, he also like I love this because it's like type 2 diabetes is not the only form of diabetes, as you can tell by the type 2 part. Some people are just fucking born with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess fuck them.
No, that is what he's saying.
It's your fault for being born with a disease that is very expensive to keep you alive. So, I don't know. You don't like it? I guess die then.
That's basically his position on this.
Yeah. What a great guy.
Yeah.
Sarah Palin and Santa Claus filed to run for Congress from Alaska.
I want you to guess without looking which one Donald Trump endorsed.
Is it Sarah Palin?
Yes, but I wish it was Santa Claus.
Turns out the Santa Claus, he's the mayor of North Pole, Alaska, who legally changed his name to Santa Claus.
Good.
Because if you're going to be the mayor of the North Pole, which is a tiny fucking town, you might as well be Santa Claus, the real mayor of the real North Pole. And it turns out he's a Bernie bro, which is pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I lean more towards the, Santa Claus leans more towards the Bernie Sanders social democracy quadrant. Ho, ho, ho.
I mean, there's
all children deserve toys.
I don't understand the fully grasped geopolitical map of Alaska, but I do know that
They have one representative, I think.
But I do know that for at least a while after the reality show was running, that the people of Alaska were like, we don't claim Sarah Palin.
I don't think she even lives there for most of the year. I think she lives in like L.A. and New York.
Yeah, she's like a contributor to either OAN or I know she was on Fox. But
yeah, I don't think she spends a whole lot of time in Alaska, but she's probably spending more time now that she needs to like prove residency in order to run for Congress. And wow, we all sort of thought she gave up on politics after single-handedly getting John McCain not elected president.
Okay.
But having Sarah Palin back in Congress, like, oh, step aside, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Step aside, young blood.
Yeah.
I'll show you how it's done.
Also, I was just thinking, like, you know how we were saying it was unbelievable that anyone would invite Madison Cawthorn to a sex party with drugs?
Sarah Palin would.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, isn't she, like, single now? She, like, broke up with her husband.
I think so.
Yeah, and she's like, so I would, like, you know.
Sarah, if you're listening.
She seems like the person who would drunkenly walk over and ask if his dick works.
That little, or tallywhacker.
Yeah.
Madison Cawthorn, just a constant embarrassment. He's like, in Congress, like, we know what a man is and what a woman is, and the difference is a man has a tallywhacker, and a woman doesn't have a tallywhacker.
Great job.
Hey there, does that tallywhacker work or no?
I'm saying I could see it happening.
Yeah.
Not that it did, but I could see it happening.
Yeah.
Lamb chop stuffed in car exhaust in Herefordshire meat attack.
Yeah, the UK youths, they're stuffing people's exhaust pipes with raw meat.
Well, at least our schools don't look like Call of Duty. It's a great meme that's going around right now.
I mean, it's true.
At least I could get health care. It's a great meme. I love it.
Yeah. Well, at least I don't have to go out to my car and risk ruining my engine because some fucking chav youth stuffed lamb chops in my exhaust pipe.
Also, way too expensive of a prank. Axel Foley did this with a banana in Beverly Hills Cop 1.
Yeah, meat ain't cheap. This is a waste of meat.
How much could a banana cost? $10? That statement will be true one day, and Arrested Development will be officially...
Yeah.
You can't watch it anymore. The jokes don't hit.
Oh, speaking of economics, recently, apparently for like the last 50 years, a subway ticket has cost the same as a slice of pizza in New York City. Like they've been correlated, and like finally just in the past year, I don't know which one went up and which one went down. I think the pizza probably went up, but end of an era.
Yeah.
The pizza rule no longer applies.
We're all looking at gas prices. We should be looking at the pizza and Subway prices.
Yeah.
They were there right all along. Anyways.
Dog finds big bag of meth while out doing dog things in Arkansas.
Cool.
I don't know. I think, I found this meth. How did you find this meth, Mr. Dog? What were you doing when you found the meth?
Wait, now I'm confused. Are you talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter or an actual dog?
An actual dog.
Okay, because that's what I thought at first, and then you started saying as if you were interrogating a human being.
The dog brings the dog brings the meth, the big bag of meth, to the police. The police are like, interesting. How did you find that? I'm like, well, I was just out doing dog things. You know, nothing suspicious there.
Open and shut case.
Interesting.
You have a job now.
Yeah, deputy dog.
Yeah.
Actually, no. If that was real life, the police would just shoot the dog immediately.
Yes.
They love nothing more than killing dogs.
They didn't even know it had meth on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They do love killing dogs. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I know. It's really fucked up.
They like breaking down doors of houses they're not even supposed to be at, killing all the dogs in sight, and then being like, fuck. We're not even in the right part of town. Well,
anyway, see you later.
See ya. Don't even try suing us. We're immune. So.
Put a bag of meth in the dog's mouth.
Yeah. Big bag of meth.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of dogs, dog with 6 legs and 2 penises wasn't expected to live. Now he's healthy and has a new home.
Yeah, this is weird. Not only it had two extra legs coming out where the tail should be, like just
so you can lean back.
Yeah, that's true. 2 penises, 2 colons. I don't think it
shotgun.
I don't think it had a butthole though, because it was pooping out of its second dick.
Oh no! Oh.
Yeah, a lot of health problems. Kind of this thing that you assume they would just like euthanize it, but they
no cops around.
They did surgery on it, and like the dog, it looks like a perfect, like, because the fur just grows over all the scars. It looks like a perfectly normal dog.
Good.
It's wild. I did not know you could live through that kind of birth defect, but got 1 dick now. I don't know how well it works, but gets the job done.
Hopefully they kept the one that doesn't have shit coming out of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they
reworked
that.
We got our dick wires
It's pissing
crossed.
out of its ass. It's shitting out of its dick. Oh, we got this all messed up.
Oh my God.
Anyways, Officer Elliott, come over here.
You can go now. Shoot the dog.
Oh, sorry. I accidentally used my taser. Let me get out my real gun.
Oregon romance novelist who wrote How to Murder Your Husband goes on trial in fatal shooting of longtime spouse in Portland. Yeah, generally, not a good idea to write something called How to Murder Your Husband if you're gonna murder your husband.
Oh, but also perfect cover-up.
Yeah. Oh, officer, do you think I'm stupid? Why would I write Why would I write in depth about how to murder your husband if I was actually going to do that?
Detective just reading the book and being like, well, some things are different.
Yeah.
But kind of believable that she might be capable of this.
So yeah, very interesting case. I don't know. Yeah, again, like it's just.
Yeah, I want to know if she followed her own rules or if she deviated from the plan in order to throw people off the trail.
I tried looking around for the plot of How to Murder Your Husband. Couldn't find it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it would be interesting to see how closely the death of the husband aligns with the plot of How to Murder Your Husband. Mm-hmm. I would imagine it wouldn't line up perfectly. She's like, well, why would I do that? That would be suspicious.
Yeah, that way she can use it as evidence. Well, clearly you haven't read my... Everyone in this courtroom should go out and buy my book.
Yeah, it's available on the Kindle store for $1.99. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a publisher. It is direct sales, so...
But it was always a dream of mine. Just much like killing my husband. Oh, sorry.
In a book.
Yeah. In a video game.
In a novel.
Actually, I'm developing a video game.
Yeah. It's a Minecraft mod where you kill your husband.
Uh-huh. In a video game. Gang steals 1,600 kilos of cheese from Dutch dairy farm.
I have no idea how much cheese that is, but it sounds like a lot.
Yeah, at least a barrel full. A couple barrels.
Yeah, at least a couple wheels.
Yeah, they drove off in a car with cheese wheels.
That's the thing about stealing cheese, especially in Europe where the cheese is still artisanal and real. Mm-hmm. You just show up with, a good socket wrench and
just bolt it on.
You get to the cheese place in the dead of night, get some cinder blocks, pull off all your tires, replace them with wheels of cheese, and then off you go.
It's the perfect crime.
Yeah.
It's the perfect,
Officer
delicious
pulls
crime.
you over, is like, we heard there was a cheese robbery. Let's pop open that trunk. Nope, completely empty.
Must be the cheese I just ate for lunch. You guys are free to go.
I'm sorry, officer. That's my huge gas problem that I have. I'm very gassy.
No, that isn't delicious vintage cheese.
No.
That's my bowels.
It's farts.
That's my dog shitting out of its dick.
Yeah.
How dare you question it?
How dare you?
He's very upset by it. Don't look at him.
And final headline, Mark Zuckerberg says Meta employees lovingly refer to him as the Eye of Sauron.
They told me they do it in a loving way.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, so it's because I'm not into meditation or anything like that. I like to go. I have I'm just very high energy. I have strong focus on my work. So it's a thing at the office. They call me the Eye of Sauron because of my work ethic. Just like the villain in the Lord of the Rings, I have a great work ethic. That's the most notable trait about Sauron is
his work ethic.
What an entrepreneur he was.
Yeah.
So
he got things done.
Yeah.
Do you see the Meta's doing another attempt at a cryptocurrency?
Zuckerbucks. Zuckbucks.
Wow. If the first two didn't land, I'm sure this one is going to be just as good.
Yeah, I think that's just like the internal term, but yeah, it's going to be some. It's going to basically be like the Xbox credits or whatever of Meta's metaverse platform, which I'm sure probably also includes Oculus.
I do love that like the entire appeal of the Oculus Quest right now is to just like forgo any actual Oculus developed things and just get right into VR chat.
Yeah. Just dress up like Knuckles and
spit on anime girls.
Yeah.
She's not the real queen. But it is funny that they're like spending so much developing like this cartoony but somewhat supposed to look like a real scenario kind of like metaverse. And people are just like, yeah, but the real world exists. I'm going to go into VR chat and be Optimus Prime. I'm going to be 20 feet tall with a giant robot dick. And I'm going to hit people with it.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah.
I can't be Optimus Prime in the metaverse, but I can be Optimus Prime in VR chat.
Yeah. Why would I want to have a wardrobe full of clothes that cost money when I can be a 2-foot tall Drake with a handgun that walks under anime girl skirts?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a flop, I think.
Yeah. VR chat. They've perfected it.
Anyway, that's our show. Early week again. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will enjoy ours. And if you haven't watched our previous episode about the robot that looks like a turd, it's over there.
It's still up.
And our episode before that, which was About,
Elon Musk buying Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah. Quite a week.
What a week.
What a week. Yeah, check both of those out. And if for some reason it was a difficult time finding this video, tell a friend that it's hidden by the algorithm because of all the bad things we said.
Send up a couple hundred drones in the sky with a QR code pointing to this video, please.
Yes, please, please, please. And then hit that join button and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon. There still is a channel.
Bye.
Bye.